What's up, Ryan?
Hey guys, how are you?
Great.
So first off, I want to say I'm a huge fan, and I'm not just saying that. I've watched the series probably multiple times through. I have to ask, where did the original idea for Blue Mountain State come from? Were there any other influences?
Basically came from, we had heard that Spike TV wanted to do a college football comedy. Excuse me, this is Eric Falconer. And so we pitched him our version of a college football comedy, which is Blue Mountain State, which is basically sort of Animal House set in Division I college football, with a lot of our personal experiences and friends' experiences sort of mixed in. But yeah, it came up because they were looking to do a college comedy. Yeah, and we're like huge fans of '80s movies, so we really want to do a movie like in that sort of tone of like sort of how the '80s movies were done, of like that sort of no holds barred partying. With, of course, a blonde douchebag at the center. We found our blonde douchebag. Thank you very much. In real life, his name's Alan Ritchson, and he honestly was. He walked through the door. You didn't even have to say anything. We're like, oh yeah, that guy's a fucking douche. Like that guy's gonna be sad. We know it. And he was. He was everything and more that we wanted out of a character. And he was. Yeah.
So, Alan, let me ask you a question. This is regarding your role as Thad overall. I've seen you in quite a few things. I even saw your American Idol audition. But,
oh, sweet.
But honestly, man, you are hilarious as Thad. How much of your own personality did you bring to that role?
Well, apparently all of it. If Romanski's story is true. First of all, I appreciate that. I appreciate also that you've been a fan for a long time. That's awesome. I don't know, man. I think there's definitely Thad in me, and there are times where he comes out either when I'm like inebriated or really angry about something. But I think in my daily life, I think I'm not, I don't think we're very much alike. But, the thing I loved about it was that I think because I'm so reserved in my daily life and trying to contain all that, for me it was really freeing to be able to just do and say whatever I really wanted to do and say in those moments, like Thad would. And I think is why it was kind of so well received, because I think there's a lot of honesty behind his outbursts and this moment. Yeah, so this is Romanski. With that being said, it was pretty amazing, because I think, and maybe Alan can, I'll speak for Alan right now, but Alan is super competitive person and will do anything you ask him to do, and just as a person. And I think he took that even further as Thad, where he basically said to Eric and I dare you to write something that I'll say no to. And we tried, and he tried and failed miserably. Yes. It failed miserably. Like, if there was a fake dick to suck, he would have to go like, hey, pull back on that. Like, that's a little too far. Don't go all the way down on that. You don't have to do that. Well, there was speaking about that, do you remember during Vision Quest when there was a scene that I don't think ever really made it in the final cut, but when we were shooting, it made it in. There was, but not this version where I had to. There's a dildo doorknob, and of course this is all a giant.
Oh yeah.
It's all in his head, and so Thad thinks like maybe I have to suck that to open the door, and so when we're shooting this, these assholes let me. I mean, I was for 5 minutes. I was just gagging. It was in my stomach, trying to get that. Like Thad would, trying his hardest to get that door open, and they're all dying laughing, and I'm like tears and saliva coming out of my face, and and then they're finally like, tears of joy. And once they've had their fill, somebody finally yells cut, and I was like, it's
guys, my esophagus hurts, and you can't do that, and of course, like, I think it was a lot tamer than the one that we. But yeah, they. My point is they failed miserably. They couldn't. They just weren't creative enough to get me in a situation that I wouldn't do. So.
Well, let me ask you about the Thad scream. That's something that gets me every time. Is that your personal scream, Alan, or is that something very exaggerated and animated?
That is, and I'm easily frightened. So you hear that a lot around my house, random times of day. But no, I just think everything to me, everything about Thad is heightened. He's humanity to the nth degree. So if he's scared, I think he's going to be the most scared that a human being can be. If he screams, it's going to be the highest, loudest scream. That was sort of always the goal for me, is just to heighten everything about what his circumstances are and his reaction to it. So, that's just what came out one time, and I don't know, it just worked, and I guess we decided to keep going with it.
Yeah, we would never have to say to Alan, like, oh, on this one, go bigger. So, like, I think you maybe could say this talk. You could probably say the same for me.
Yeah, they know. Yeah, throughout all of the state, we never had to do a bigger note.
So now you have the rise of.
Which again, that means I'm winning as an actor. That means I win.
Oh, definitely.
So me one, them zero.
Yeah, you definitely won when you ate real goat balls on camera. Yeah, you won. You win.
I did. Joke's on you guys.
Yeah.
So, Rise of Thadland, I would have to say this seems like it's going to be Blue Mountain State's time to really unleash with no holds barred. Even though on the TV show, I felt like there were a lot of restrictions and regulations that maybe you guys might have broken along the way. But would you say this film is the chance to really go even more explicit than you were in the series?
Yeah. This is Romanski. I'm just gonna say this because in Lionsgate's on the phone too, and it was really funny because we went into Lionsgate like for a big meeting, and I think everybody had seen the movie. We walked in, and I think one of the guys was like, "Hey, so everybody's seen the movie, and we're really excited." And there's like a long pause. It was like, "We're so sorry. Like that movie was so fucking crazy." It was like, I think people were like, because Lionsgate obviously has seen the show, and I think they're like, okay, we know what to expect. We've seen the show, and I think even Lionsgate was like, wow, this is how the fuck are we gonna sell this? This is crazy.
Well, I remember the day that we got a call from the MPAA was the day that really kind of woke me up to just how insane this was, because we had finished the movie, and it was just basically everything that we wanted it to be, and taking it where we always hoped it would go. And we're so used to the show that, like, we write these scenes, like, when I was on the show, it was like I'd get the script and you read it, table read, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I have to bang a pocket pussy. All right, great. Okay. And like you're so desensitized to just how nuts this stuff is, and it was like that for the movie too. So we sort of finish it up, and we got to submit it to the MPAA, and like, all right, it's got to be an R. It's gonna be an R. And the reaction when they called, it sounded like this. I don't know how you're gonna write this, but this is what it sounded like. God, we just finished watching the movie, and oh God, let's just say that it's an NC-17, and we gotta talk about, like, the guy was breathless, like he just ran a marathon and couldn't wrap his mind around what he had just seen, and we were like, oh no, what did we do? So that's sort of when we realized, like, oh, we really did it. We did it. We reached our goal, I think, for this film.
So how did you get away with?
And it was also just to, like, not. There's a ton of explicit stuff, and we were definitely able to touch the envelope with that stuff. But even just the comedy and the way that we were able to make this movie without any kind of studio or network attached to the development or production aspects of it was really fitting in that aspect too. For the comedy, like for example, there's a running bit in the movie where about how much Thad hates Walt Disney that
yeah,
we just never would have been able to do if there attached during development, that would have been the first thing that got cut out. And so we were free to do all kinds of stuff with this movie. Yeah, it was awesome.
So from a few of the series exploits, we've seen things like the infamous cookie race, the team all sharing Thad's pocket pussy, and even Thad hiding a used condom in his mouth. How did you get away with these acts on TV? Like,
I forget that this is all shit that we did.
like,
I forgot about that.
seriously,
dude,
I know it's.
You know what, Ryan? What are you talking about, man? What show is this?
I mean, I know it's Spike, but how did you get away with this? There had to be some sort of repercussions.
Well, yeah, we had long conversations with standards and practices just about every week. And it's funny, Romanski and I have been talking about maybe making a coffee table book out of our emails back and forth to standards and practices. You know, where they would draw the line, where they wouldn't. No, actually, you know, Spike really pushed us with the raunchy stuff. They wanted it to be as raunchy and explicit as possible and shocking, especially that first season. So that's where a lot of that stuff came from. But yeah, it was weird. They would draw the line on really specific things. Like Thad had the condom in his mouth, but when he takes it out, in the original cut, our cut that we sent in, when he takes it out, this is really disgusting. I'm sorry to everybody on the phone. There is like a string of cum, for lack of a better word, running from his lips to the condom as he holds it up. And they made us take that part out, so we had to cut out from. We couldn't see the actual cum; we could just see it inside the condom. So these are the kind of conversations we've actually had to have with adults having this conversation with other adults on a weekly basis for the show.
Yeah, I'm actually working on another Comedy Central show right now, and I'm working with the same woman, this woman Christy, who was our standards and practices woman on Blue Mountain State, and we turned this script in, and she wrote me an email going like, that was actually like really tame for what I expected when I first saw your name on the script. She was like prepared for anything. Like she was so scared.
It also helped, I think, the three women that ran our standards and practices for the show were huge fans of the show. Like they loved us and they loved everything they did, and they were on our side very much. So they worked with us a ton.
Now, I would say Spike was probably in its infancy as far as viewership went at the time, and even myself, I'll be honest, I didn't discover Blue Mountain State until it appeared on Netflix. But even though it's still reached a cult status, do you think maybe in this time where maybe YouTube was a little bit more prominent or something along those lines where they could advertise better, do you think Blue Mountain State would have been a bigger hit than it already is?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, one thing I'll definitely say, before you guys talk about this, one thing I'll definitely say is we were sort of on the cusp of, we were right before networks realized what a powerful tool the internet is for TV shows and marketing. And I think had Spike been a little bit more savvy with their sort of digital marketing of the show and the push online to the audience that was watching it on their phones and computers, I think it would have been a much bigger hit then. And I think it would be even a much bigger hit now. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I echo what you said.
So can we expect a sequel to Rise of Thadland, or would you say this is more of the finish for Blue Mountain State, like their big finale?
Well, Lionsgate's on the phone right now. They can go ahead and commit to a second movie right now. It's totally up to them. If they just want to say right now we'll do a second movie, we're totally in. No, I mean our end all goal is like we would love to do more seasons, more movies. Like we just know that like our fan base is craving more BMS, and I hope that this movie makes them crave it even more. So yeah, we're down for movies.
And we do know if depending on the performance of this film, I mean, if everybody runs out and buys this and it does really well, there will be more, whether it's film or TV or both. But there will be more if this does really well.
Broadway, we're thinking about maybe going to Broadway, right, guys? Maybe go to Broadway.
Cool. Yeah.
That'd be awesome, actually. I'd love to see that.
Especially about the State Broadway show.
Yeah, you know how many lines I would forget each performance? It'd be I should just be yelling line every other line.
Josh Gad would be playing Sammy, so you would actually be in it. Yeah.
The Book of Thadland.
Well, would you guys have any final words to say about Rise of Thadland for all the fans out there?
Oh man, what can you print? You can print anything.
I can print anything. Yeah.
I would say this. It's a giant, crazy, fun comedy. The likes of which have not been seen in a while. I feel like a lot of comedies right now are pretty safe, even when they try to be crazy. This is legitimately crazy. Like, there are scenes that you'll be watching and you can't believe what your eyeballs are seeing.
And to take it a step further too, I would say, we've got the good fortune of having all this content behind us with the show, and so we can look at that and go, we know what to the fans is the best of BMS, and we were able to just take the best of BMS and then even push that. This film is truly, I think, represents the best of what Blue Mountain State has to offer, and I think that will translate, and fans are in for a treat. Yeah.
Well, guys,
it's really fucking crazy. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, holy shit! Like, this is fucking nuts. I mean,
we get sort of desensitized to it. I think because we wrote it and we shot it, and then we don't realize how far we push things until people see it, and their reaction makes us realize how crazy it is.
Yeah, Mike. I don't know if there's such a thing as beautiful bestiality, but there is like some of that is just like a little snippet of like what is to come in the movie. So I think it's quite beautiful.
Well, guys, I want to thank you so much. Like I said, I'm a big fan outside of just this interview in general. It was like amazing to talk to you all, and I'll definitely be promoting this movie. I know there's a lot of fans in my circle as well, so we're looking forward to it.
Well, thanks a lot, man. We're super excited for you and all the fans to see the movie. Like, I really think that you'll dig it, and we really appreciate the support.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I'm honestly super excited for it, and I appreciate this so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks again, man. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks, Ryan.